and welcome back to Dirty Bernie's Garage. This episode is going to be all about unnecessary purchases. I happen to be a master at this subject. I'm really good at it. And this is one of them. What we have here today is a 1982 Billy Goat Lawn and Leaf Vacuum. Something I have absolutely no use for, but it was either it come here or it go to the crusher, so that's where we're at with this one. I'm going to give you a quick walk around this thing and give you a full overview of it. Hopefully you can understand why I fell in love with this thing. I don't know why I did, but whatever. Anyway, like I said, this is a Billy Goat. This little plastic thing actually has a picture of a goat on it. It's kind of hard to see. This whole outer casing here, this is all aluminum. And if you notice, we have absolutely no breakage. It's not even chipped anywhere. So for that old of a unit, it's actually in very good shape. You gotta notice you got your motor here. Underneath the engine, you're gonna notice it's all round, and it goes throughout the entire engine. Under there, there's what's called an impeller, and that's gonna it's basically like a big vacuum cleaner. It's gonna suck up the thing, and it's gonna shoot it into a bag. Unfortunately, the bag isn't there. That's the key item missing from this unit right now. It's probably going to cost me more than this unit's worth to actually get a bag for it, but we're looking at that later. We're not really worried about that part right now. Here, notice you got your four, they're pretty good sized wheels, steel spoked with rubber tread on them and everything. This thing was just too cool. I mean, it was to the point that it was either I bought it or it was gonna get scrapped. One of the two. It took a $20 bill, brought it home with me. I pulled it out of the trunk of the car. My wife's like, "What the hell is that?" So yeah, I mean, that was worth my $20 right there. Let me see. This would have been the original throttle. At some point, somebody heavily duct taped something, and I don't know exactly what yet. I mean, the throttle's missing, so something to do with that. So we could fix that. It's not a biggie. Anyway. In this video, what I'm going to do with this thing, we're going to head and get it running. I know the engine will run. I'm going to explain a little bit on this engine here shortly. And we're going to go from there with it. But yeah, I bought a good one here. Alright, well, sadly I was not able to make it out to the farm this week to get the pieces I needed to get this thing to fire off, but I figure I'll give you a quick little educational thing. We have a 5 horsepower Briggs & Stratton. Like I said, this is a 1982 model. This engine would be considered what I consider actually is called a medium base. It's just a little bit bigger on the base itself than your little 3.5 horse motor, but it's also a little smaller than the 8 horse engine. So it's, like I said, I'm calling it a medium base. This engine was I believe came into production somewhere in the 60s. Now, mind you, these dates I'm telling you are not exact. Um, I know, a lot of people consider me to be a small engine geek, but I'm not that much of a geek. I'm not going to tell you exactly, oh yeah, in 1963 they took 11,000 units. Okay, nobody cares about that. So, anyway, I'm just giving you a kind of a quick overview here. But anyway, um, like I said, approximately the 60s this engine came out, and this was a very popular engine on the units like this, the rear engine riding lawnmowers, some of the smaller front engine riding mowers, and everything. That this was the engine to have. I consider this a true 5 horsepower. Um, a few years later, the Quantum came out. The Quantum will not hold a candle to this engine, I'll tell you right now. But anyway, as you'll notice, we got it's pretty oily down here, nice and black. Very common issue. The fill cap should have a little fiber washer holding the, to seal it, which that is missing. Possibly a drain plug leaking. Another issue is that, as you can see, that the oil in this engine also is black as tar. People just don't change oil on these engines, and it's kind of makes me sad. I mean, this engine takes a half a quart of oil to fill it. It's not a big, expense or anything, but whatever, it is what it is. You notice this does not match the rest of the engine. They probably couldn't find the right filter element, so they just switched it out to the NOAA filter. And the funny thing is, I actually have the correct filter for this thing up at the farm, which I will be grabbing when I go up there. And it's just kind of weird. It's been sitting there for years. I know exactly where it is. I can tell you exactly how to get to it and everything. But yeah, we got this thing is all original. Every single bit of it. Got a little leakage coming from the valve cover here and whatnot, but that's nothing. Anyway, what we're gonna do on this, it's gonna be next week. So it's going to be a 2-part video. We're going to hear this thing fire off for the first time in probably every bit of 10 years. And we'll go from there with it. So hopefully you enjoyed this, watching me waste a bunch of money and, all this good garbage. And everybody have a great night.